Hey, what's up, Hankiboy here with yet another Didn't Matter video. A video I usually do not do, which is covering the weekly update. But we have big news today. I suggest you go and take a look at it if you haven't already after this video. I'll be covering the first portion of the update, the portion that explains how and when the closed alpha will be released, which is the part that brought quite a lot of controversy on the Discord. I don't know if you guys were around when the update dropped, but I think that was as close to an online riot as we could get. I won't talk about anything I was going to cover on Monday. I will still upload on Monday. This is just something I really felt like covering right now. Now keep in mind, guys, this is my opinion. I don't claim to hold the absolute truth, nor do I claim to know everything that's going on. This being said, I know there's people all over the spectrum regarding what we learned in the update today, and if you have an opinion different than mine, that's fine, drop a comment, and I'm not here to convince anyone, nor am I here to put out fires. I just felt like sharing how I am seeing the situation. Alright, so in the latest weekly update, we got a release date, sort of. So let's take a look at the first part of the update here. Reggie starts with a little what's up paragraph, then we get into the cause of all the commotion, closed alpha. We finally have light at the end of the tunnel. While we have not fully solved the issue that we are having pressed on us from the legal side, it looks like that by the start of next week, we should have things squared off. And if we look at one of the question and answers later on in the update, we see that the issue is trademark related. Now, trademark can be anything: a building, a gun, a town slogan, a phrase, really anything. Now, what I think happened, and this is just what makes the most sense to me. First, let's look at a statement that was made earlier, because this is the basis for my theory here. So they said they were ensuring the legal issue did not happen again. So what I think happened or is happening is they got an issue with one specific trademark. Then they most likely understood that this kind of issue could very well arise again with other trademarks. And to prevent this, they had to reach to everybody whose trademark they might infringe upon, because I can see how a single trademark possible infringement would take 6 weeks to resolve. I could understand a 6-week period if they had to look at all their assets, assess which one could be problematic trademark wise, then reach out to whoever they have to reach out to, then wait for a response. And that is what I believe most likely happened. They needed to cover their bases so that this kind of problem does not arise when the game is out. Because if it was a single entity, they could have just removed that entity from the game while it's being resolved. But they probably have a long checklist of possible infringement, and they're ticking them off when they get the okay or not from the concerned parties. And now they are most likely waiting for the last few returns. Now remember, this is my theory, not necessarily the truth. Then Reggie goes on to say that if everything gets resolved next week, which if we look at some of Nick Z's messages in Discord, will definitely be resolved by next week. They will start a slow rollout because they don't have experience launching big projects, which is understandable. Then he says, first things first, because Indiegogo's API does not properly report refunds to our backend, which will require us to reconcile our backer data with theirs, and because of limited payment processing methods that are available to us, we will be initiating a 2-week countdown. You can think of this as the launch countdown for the closed alpha itself. We will make another announcement when this countdown starts. Now, this has me, I'll be honest, confused. But the way I'm understanding this, it's going to be hard for them to send money back to Indiegogo to cover refunds, and they need 2 weeks to do so. And they also need to consolidate all refunds so they don't send those people game keys. That's how I understand this. And that 2-week period will act as a countdown to full closed alpha rollout. And that 2-week countdown will start as soon as all legal issues are resolved. So we are looking at probably around a 3-week delay before we get into the closed alpha. Now, do I think 3 weeks is a big deal? Not really, but I do understand why people are mad. I mean, they did hint to an end of July closed alpha, and to me at least, starting a 2-week countdown at the end of July isn't really meeting that expectation. Then we have, shortly after we initiate the Indiegogo countdown, we will be having our partners at Nitrado bring a portion of our servers online, and we will start to trickle our partners into the project. They will be acting as guinea pigs and will help us identify any key issues or potential problems that come up so that we can address them before launch. And if we pair that with another relevant Q&A, why is there an NDA in place? NDAs on early builds of software are commonplace. However, content creators that are partnered with us will be given plenty of opportunities to release gameplay clips or even stream the game on Twitch slash YouTube. And I think this part here is the principal instigator of all the commotion that happened on the Discord and made the backers and unpartnered content creators angry. So now in good old Hankiboy fashion, let's dissect and overanalyze this whole situation. First thing we need to do is check who's affected and how, and then I'll give my personal overall interpretation of the whole situation. First, we have the devs. Their stance is they are using the 2 weeks they need to deal with that Indiegogo issue to have their partners go in-game and be the first ones to weed out any game-breaking issues so that the game is more stable once it is brought in front of the larger audience. Then we have the backers, which is one of the hats I wear. The backers are split into 2 groups, I'd say. One side feels cheated that partners get to jump in game before them. The other side doesn't mind partners getting in the game first and are just happy that we can finally see the closed alpha on the horizon. Then we have the partners who will get in game as soon as the legal issue is resolved, and they will also have the occasion to produce content during that time and the rest of closed alpha via an NDA specific to them. And finally, we have the content creators that are not partnered, which is the other hat that I wear. And well, we will have the same privileges other backers have, which is none other than playing in the closed alpha. So how do I feel about this rollout? First, I'm freaking happy that we have a more defined time frame for release. Nixie did mention a few times that once that counter starts, there is no turning back. And once it hits 0, the keys are going out. Now it's just a matter of seeing when that counter actually starts. Now this being said, let's look at each, let's call them factions, I guess, and what I think. So the devs and their decision to have a 2-week countdown and give partners access to the closed alpha during that time. First, the 2-week period, like I said, I don't understand the issue. I don't understand why it takes 2 weeks, but I'm not a game developer. I never managed such a project, so I'll just take their word for it, that it's a needed time period, and I'll trust them on that one. Then the call to bring the partners in before others. So the fact is they need a small group of players to get in game before the bulk of players comes in to check for critical bugs and errors and any game breaking issues. I mean, no one wants a day one where we can't even get in the game. That I understand and support. As far as choosing the partners to do so, to me it's a logical choice. Partners are already a small defined group. The other choices would have been choosing a random group of backers, which I don't believe would have received a much better reaction than the partner option has generated anyways. Now this being said, a lot of the complaints was around the fact that some partners didn't do much to promote or support the game, and honestly I'd leave to the dev team the task of choosing partners and deciding if a partner status is still relevant for such and such person. They are partners, they have been made partners by the dev team, and as far as choosing them for the pre-closed how can I say this, the pre-closed alpha testing, does that make sense? Yeah, the pre-closed alpha testing, from a dev team point of view, I can see how this makes sense. An already small defined group, they already know who they are, and they would have something to lose by, let's say, sharing content they shouldn't be sharing. I can easily see how this choice was made by the dev team. Then we have the most important faction, the backers, the backbone of this project, the ones who open their wallets, who've waited patiently for the project to take form, the ones who've been told too many times that closed alpha was just around the corner, the ones spreading the word, the ones talking about Den Matter to their friends, the future community of Den Matter. Man, honestly, I really do feel both sides. The ones who feel betrayed, the ones who feel like they've been told to wait for the door to open and they see some people get to go in by a back door. I feel you. I get where you are coming from with this anger, and I understand the frustration, and I wish the devs and the more optimistic backers could see the situation through your eyes and understand your disarray. I think the devs have been so wrapped up in getting the closed alpha ready and fixing problems that to them, announcing a 2-week countdown starting next week is probably a very big milestone, and from their perspective is the light at the end of the tunnel. But I think they might have failed to understand that for some, this is just another delay, a 3-week delay, and I think this is the main reason for some of the devs not understanding the backlash that happened on Discord. We are not there with you fixing the problems. We are not in the fight side by side with the dev team. We don't know what the struggle is. So when the dev team yells victory, some of us might just not see it that way. Me personally, I'm just happy to have a more defined time frame as a backer. A little disappointed since I've just started my 3-week vacation and was looking forward to playing some Den Matter during that time. Honestly, both sides have their arguments, but being at each other's throat won't release the game sooner. I think the best course of actions for us is to understand that the dev team is a small team dealing with what is shaping up to be a pretty big deal. We should take a step back, moderate ourselves, and put a little less pressure on the dev team. Now, the partners. First things, guys, they did not ask for this. The dev chose them for this. They would be fools to say no to this opportunity. Now, as far as partners who didn't really promote the game, I'm really on the fence about this. And like I said, that situation is up to the devs to deal with however they see fit. I see partners as representatives of the game and community, and it's up to the dev team to decide who they choose to represent them. As far as them being able to upload content, it's a freaking huge occasion for them. Of course, they are happy about this and they are rightfully excited about it. They have been made partners by the devs. They have been chosen to be the initial testers. I'm happy for them, and I know if I was in their position, I'd be excited too. And to be honest, hating them for a situation that was brought upon them doesn't make much sense to me. And finally, the content creators who are not partners, which is my case. Am I disappointed that some will get to produce content before and during closed alpha? Of course I am. It's a huge opportunity. Look, let's be honest here. Those who can produce content exclusively, their YouTubes are going to blow up. Twitches will blow up, of course. Does it suck to see that train pass by? Of course it does. Of course I wish I was on that train, but I'm not. I know I would be extremely happy to be in their situation, so I am happy for them. I am happy for everything this occasion will bring to them. I really am. Being angry at them will bring me absolutely nothing. I will continue to cover the game in whatever way I can, and I'll just be patient until early access, like it was going to be for me anyways. I know they said they might reopen the partner applications, but if I remember correctly, last time it was 1,000 subs on whatever your platform was. And unfortunately, I don't expect my channel to have these numbers in the next few weeks. So yeah, disappointed, yes, of course. Angry and jealous, absolutely not. If I was in their situation, I would want people to be happy for me, so I am happy for them. So to wrap it up, as far as the closed alpha goes, as soon as the legal issue is resolved, which should be next week, a 2-week countdown will start. At the end of those 2 weeks, we will be getting our access keys and we should be able to jump in game. During the countdown, Partners will be in-game testing it and having a go at any initial game-breaking problems. They will also be able to produce some content. To what extent, it is unknown, but I would assume it will be very restrictive. The time is near. The devs have taken some very defined engagements in that weekly update and on the Discord, and honestly, not respecting those would be a huge hit to their credibility. We can expect partners to drop some content a few days after the countdown starts, which should be next week. So that of course is exciting. Not quite like playing the game of course, but it's what we get right now. And of course, with the closed alpha just around the corner, remember I have 2 Den Matter access key giveaways going on. One of them you will get all the info on my Den Matter base building video. The other one is happening on my Discord. Join the server. There is a contest room. Hop in there and you'll figure it out. Both links are in the description. That is it for today. Everybody needs to chill the fuck out and unite around the fact that we are within grasps of playing this game, which I believe is going to be the next big fucking thing. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, this is only my opinion, and if you could take a few seconds of your time to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to be extra, take a few more seconds, turn those notifications on and comment below, and I will see you guys Monday.